guys, welcome back to my channel. This week I know the video title is different than what I said I would make it. Like, I did put a poll out on my Instagram asking which video I should do, and no, I'm not doing any of those two videos this week. I will be doing them next week or like later. This week's video is going to be different. I'm basically doing this art collab with some artists on Instagram where the topic is doing something you've never done before. You guys would probably remember my color pencil video from last week where I used these Faber-Castell color pencils for the first time ever. And since I'm fairly new at this and I've done most other forms of art that I am able to, I figured that maybe I should go for something with color pencils. And I'm going to attempt realism. I'm not sure that is the best idea considering that the realism last time didn't go so well. The paint splodges, if any of you would recall. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to go see it so that you can actually understand what I'm talking about. It's a long video, so maybe just watch bits of it. I don't know. So I'm going to make an entire page in my sketchbook brown like this. A new page. I'm gonna cover it. Probably these two, and then we're going to do realism with color pencils. And this time it's not going to be just objects like the I think I did that ribbon last time. Not just like ribbons and stuff like this, but maybe something more interesting, maybe animals or other objects that I don't usually see realism done for. So it's going to be interesting. I will link all the artists I'm doing the collab with down below. All of their accounts will be linked there, so if you want to go check any of them out. I think I should just get started because at this point I don't know what else to say. So yeah. Okay, so as I had said, this is a group collab, and the topic of the collab was to draw something that you haven't drawn before or don't normally do. So in this case, I am drawing on not white paper using color pencils to make realism on a sketchbook spread. I do not normally do any of these things. If you watch my channel, you would know. And I was kind of scared at first, but I think eventually it did go pretty well. Just to tell you guys that I'm doing a lemon just as a tribute to my first YouTube video ever, which has reached 1,000 views. Thank you guys so much. I am so happy. I mean, only 1,000 views is a pretty big thing for me. This is like my first YouTube video ever getting to 1,000 views. It has like 1K written next to it. Every time I see that I get so excited. Just thank you guys so much. Anyway, I thought lemon is a perfect place to start. It's like my kind of symbol, one would say, because I'm always drawing lemons. Like literally always. The next thing that I want to do in the sketchbook spread, because I'm making multiple realistic things over this entire page. Only one page, not both. Both pages would have been a bit too much. But for this one page, now this next one, I'm making I'm making a ladybug. This is something that I've actually wanted to do for a while, but I just never got around to doing it. Like, remember that time when I was traveling and I made that video with the trees and everything? There was a ladybug sitting on my paint palette then. If you don't know which video I'm referring to, it's linked up in the card and down below in the description, so make sure to check it out if you don't know what I'm talking about. Also, you can check it out on my Instagram because I did post a picture of the ladybug that was sitting on my palette, which was kind of cute. And since then, I'd been wanting to draw a ladybug, but then I never did. So I did it now. Try something you've never done before. I've never drawn a ladybug. I wasn't able to get it as shiny as the picture, but I think I did a pretty good job. I really liked it. Making realism with color pencils is actually like, it's relaxing in a way because it's like you're slowly building up the layers and slowly working on it. With paints, it's a lot faster because you're worried about the acrylics drying out. That's something I kind of stress over a lot. So, doing it with color pencils was therapeutic in a way. And the fact that I do have 2 pages of color pencil practice behind me makes this piece a lot better than the last piece that I did. Just to know, I remember in my last video I said I was sick of color pencils and I wasn't going to use them for a while. Just so that you guys know, I didn't use them for a while. I made that piece 3 weeks ago, which is a long time for me. So I've had enough break from color pencils and I got back to it. And this time, I'm happy to say I'm not sick of them. I like these color pencils a lot more than I did 3 weeks ago. I feel that now my YouTube uploading schedule might go a bit awry and crazy. I might end up uploading in the middle of the week. I might end up disappearing for 4 or 5 weeks at a stretch because of school now. I might not be able to upload as often as I used to. I know I've already cut it down to like once every 2 weeks. It might go worse than that. I don't know. I'm gonna try and be as regular as possible, but if it comes to the point where I have to choose between schoolwork and YouTube, we're gonna have to choose schoolwork. This next item was something that I saw on Instagram, but it was made with paints. So I'd saved the post, and I intended on making it with watercolors. I was going through my saved posts, and I saw this, and I'm like, okay, you know what? It would be kind of challenging to do it with pencils. So I did. It's a cheesecake slice. The picture that I saw was a blueberry cheesecake, but a raspberry or some cranberry cheesecake or something like that. Red berries, basically. And since I already had like a lot of red because of the ladybug on the page already, I didn't want to add too much of one color. So I figured, let's just make it blue instead. And I like my choice. Doing the berries was fun. It was like the same process over and over, just repeating it. And in the end, it did look pretty real. Drawing on brown paper is a lot of fun. Have I mentioned that? It's like your white highlights are so much brighter, and pictures just like they have like a natural background on their own. You don't need to add much of a background because the brown makes it look kind of like it's not floating in midair, which really helps me, especially with this project, because in this case, realism, making an entire background a realistic background is kind of tricky. The next object, I had to make it kind of colorful because I wasn't sure. I needed to balance out the colors on the page. There was like not enough green, not enough orange, lots of red, and kind of a lot of blue too. So the only way I could think of to balance out all those colors in one object was a Rubik's Cube. And at this point it was getting late and I was getting kind of sick of looking at the phone for reference pictures. So I just did this from my head. So it's not going to be the most realistic. It's just gonna have some not realisticness to it. But at this point, you can't blame me. I've done 3 objects and I'm sick of it now. So I realize now that it was on the Rubik's Cube. I was trying to just put some orange and green on there, on each side, to show that the person's kind of working on it. I ended up writing an L and a T. I see it now. I should have written something on the other side too, even if it was unintentional. That would have been kind of cool. I figured that the empty spaces were looking kind of empty, so I wanted to add some fairy lights. They aren't the most realistic, they're obviously kind of cartoony, but they're more realistic than the other fairy lights I've made in the past, so give me credit for that. I'm really happy that this collab topic because it forced me to move out of my comfort zone. It forced me to get away from paints, get away from white paper, and it was something I needed. It was something I needed. Also, just so that you guys know, I am going to be uploading that all my art since I was 5 years kind of video probably next week, or sorry, in the next 2 weeks in the next video, or like maybe after. I don't know. I am filming it. It is in progress, but I have had a lot of artwork since that time, so going through all of it is a long task, and I'm trying to not make the video too excessively long. Like right now it's going over 30 minutes, so we're working on it. I'm working on it. I haven't forgot, don't worry. I did remember to varnish my page this time so that it wouldn't get spoiled like it did last time. If you don't know what I'm referring to, go watch my last video. I tried these color pencils out for the first time ever, and we're done. I am honestly pretty happy with this piece because it's everything I don't normally do. And when you don't normally do something, you're obviously automatically terrible at it. And this didn't turn out that terrible. It's actually, I'm really happy with it. I mean, compared to this, the last color pencil work, and this, I definitely like this a lot more. I mean, I have had an entire piece of practice, so that does kind of make sense. But I'm still pretty new to color pencils. Anyway, comment down below and tell me which of these turned out the best. Which one do you think is the best? In my personal favorite is the ladybug, although it is kind of very disproportionate. Even my mom's like, if it had been smaller, it would have been more realistic. But, I mean, I get it, but I think, overall, I really like the ladybug. I put the most time into it. Anyway, I hope that you guys liked the video, enjoyed watching me try something new. And make sure to go check out the other artists that I'm doing the collab with, because they're all pretty talented. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. See you next week. No, not next week. The week after that, I think. We'll see.